Yo, good afternoon. If we've been on hiatus for a while, I've been on hiatus because Senor over here been trying to set up everything, but life happens. What's up, Nico? Welcome back
You
to
start already? You didn't
I
even
did.
tell me about it.
Welcome to the Nico and Rico show. This is Nico. Y'all know me.
I have no words for the behavior and the discipline that my podcast co-host.
You mean the editor? You mean the person who posts?
Oh shit!
Oh, you mean the person who's been waiting on promos?
Damn! No, I posted the promos, but you never check my IG. Our views have gone up. You barely ever check my IG.
First of all, I don't do IG like that.
Okay, that's where I post it. I can't post it on Facebook because
There's
it won't let me do a link. That's why I don't do it on Facebook.
See, that's what you're supposed to be doing your research.
I can't do it on Facebook. I mean, at least I find out.
And a lot of excuses. And a lot of excuses. That's what we're getting. And if you're gonna make excuses, all right. Because
I'm not even gonna say anything back.
That's all right.
I'm not.
You said until you get everything out, what's the surprise topic?
All right, so I have all these topics 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and see my bank account. In my bank account, you probably don't even know.
No, I don't.
All right, so we will. You're not gonna be okay with this one.
I'm not gonna be okay. All right. That's what we should do. Come on.
Okay, so just a little light one. I'll have to show you the tables anyway.
All right.
All right, so we will talk about. I don't know. I would like to announce the return of Nico.
Oh, okay.
Nico's coming back. Oh, I didn't put the timer. Nico's coming back. All right. I've gone through some lawsuit, issues, not against me, but against somebody else, and they've worked out somewhat. So I am looking to invest this capital
back in the crypto.
Oh,
okay. Well, I think we talked about this already.
But however, like I haven't made any moves. I haven't even made the decision that I'll spend that my whole budget is gonna go towards it. No. But I'm really looking into it. I'm really interested in coming back. I'm trying to get back into it, the whole bandwagon, trying to get familiar with it.
Okay.
See whether there's any updates and things of that nature.
Yeah, if you can get the footing that you lost.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Well, you mean like get back what I could have had?
Yeah.
No, that's too much money. Probably not.
Well, when you're gambling, you should always have a limit to where you should cash out.
No. I didn't gamble like that's what bothers me. Like I did 99% of everything right, but the investing thing wise, the market wise, I did everything mad well.
Staying too long.
But I stayed in too long. So I should have seen it as okay, so I have this amount of money, which was quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I should have taken out at least some of it to pay off the Nico bill or invest for a down payment on a house. Or I don't know, like reward myself and go on a trip, anything. Yeah. But no, I put absolutely all of my eggs on that one basket because I was like, hey, I did something really well. Right. And we just kept going. Right. And that didn't happen. And then COVID happened.
See, what you were looking at was the maximum amount of what you had acquired going towards everything you could build. So you were looking at if all this goes toward what I'm trying to accomplish, that's even better instead of half of it or a quarter of it. And I get that. That's natural, man. But like any gamble,
that's life, baby.
Yeah, but no, it's not life. That's your choice.
It's lessons.
Yeah, it's a lesson. But the way you played it was you constantly played all in. Like if it was a poker game.
Oh yeah, I constantly played all in. You kept
pushing it all in.
Everything.
And that's a very super risky way to play. And like you said, that's the eggs in all one basket. So ultimately, if you ever do get back to that, you should set key limits to say, if I get to X dollar, I'm gonna pull X dollar.
And stick to it.
And you'll feel better for it. Especially if you diversify your portfolio and be like, all right, even if I pull it, I'm gonna have, liquid cash. I might put it in a different diversified investment, something else. Put it somewhere else, especially when you're taking away from high risk into lower risk, like index portfolios and stuff like that. You diversify, especially when you got good capital coming in. You can just put it into something, put it somewhere safe.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, but no, but man, bro, Nico, you was riding high, man.
That was pretty good.
Think about it. You see,
No, and when I took out that balance
Mhm.
out, at one point I had over double.
right?
But by then I hadn't sold yet. So
Yeah.
I don't count it, but I saw it with my own eyes while my account balance got
Yeah, when you saw that,
portfolio balance, I mean.
yeah, when you saw that, most people say, man, if I went from 10,000 to 100,000, guess what I can make with 100,000, instead of saying
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
let me
Or take half of it out, guess what I can do with 50.
right.
And then with the other half, like trying to improve my life right now, while I let the rest run.
But like you said, that's something you learn. So,
That's
but
life,
hey,
baby.
if you feel confident going back into it, obviously you know way more than I do, in regards to that particular influence. But like, no, anything that's stocks or anything that's ultimately a gamble risk that you could look at trends. Yeah, man, if you got to go back into it, go back, because you could never truly earn. You can never really earn what you really want to make. You have to put money to work. And since money is mathematical, it can do exponential. We humans don't work at exponential levels. We don't do exponential work. I can't work today, then tomorrow work 3 times as hard. Then on top of that, the next day work 3 times as hard as the 3
Oh
times
yeah, no, your money has to do it.
Yeah, the money has to do it for you.
That's a really good point. I've never seen it that way. That's true.
Yeah, because imagine the only way I look at exponentially is like a superpower. If I'm one person today, and tomorrow I can divide myself into 3 people, and in the day after that I can divide myself into 3 times 3 is 9, and I can go from there exponentially, divide myself, and I can earn money. That's ultimately the way that money works. It can work exponentially, or at least at a percentage margin, which is a type of exponential.
It can do more than you can do, like physically.
Easily. Because think about it, like if you when you look at something squared, 1 into 2, 2 into 4, 4 into 16, 16 into 32. When it starts multiplying like that, you'll never physically. It's not humanly possible to work at that type of calculation. It's not.
Okay.
So
by the third day, you'll burn out, but your money can. Yeah, for sure.
Right. So what they say, I remember seeing something like say if you took a penny and you it doubled every day.
Oh, you get to 10 million, yeah. I just saw a YouTube video about
something like that, and that's money. That's crazy. That's money. That's money.
It's compound interest, baby.
Compound.
That's how it works.
So, and that's the only way you can. That's really one of the more assured ways, based on value, based on things that have value, things that have, especially high value. If you invested them, the idea of your money will eventually get there. So no, I would not discourage you from it. I didn't know enough about it from before to have an opinion one way or another.
What news or things have you seen from it lately, if anything at all? Or you just stopped like seeing it in the news, in your phone, ads, whatever? What do you know about it?
For me, I still see about the government trying to regulate it.
Okay.
And trying to narrow it down. Like all those companies that were popping up, trying to get into making their own coin, all that's pretty much died down. A lot of the forks and stuff, a lot of like the fringe stuff I see has really gotten quiet. So I think it's still there, but I just think people went back to the drawing board because it's like, oh man, this thing out of control. I think what people have done is they've become responsible and said, look, while we don't want the government to be regulating it, let us regulate it. Let us make it safe for those who swim in these circles, instead of it being just aggressively exploitive and be like, look, let's just get as much as we can, no regulation. I think what happens is that this industry moves so fast and so hard, and it's hurt so many people who are playing the game, that they're like, oh, we gotta put rules on it. We gotta, even though if there's rules amongst ourselves. And I think it's gonna go back to the drawing board. It's gonna weed out a lot of the fringe players. You're gonna have some significant players, and it's gonna be a safer and better game. Eventually, the leagues are gonna whittle down to a few leagues, but I think it's just gonna be a whole bunch safer. That's why it's a lot. I think it's why it's really quiet now, because it's reset.
Are you waiting on all of these things to happen and the government to make it safer and more regulated for you to start getting into it?
No,
or you don't really care?
Once the government really gets into it, it's not gonna be set up for you to really make money from it. It could be a hobby, but you won't. it'll never be as hot as it was. It'll never be as hot as it was. The dope game in that industry is gone. Those days are gone. Those are yesteryear. To people who are really hitting licks and making money, they're gonna be like, dang man, I really wish it was like this, da 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 da. It'll have to go through severe deregulation and the government, kind of like how the housing market went, for people to really make licks. But the only people who really made that kind of money were always at the top. They had the capital to do it. Nobody else is really gonna be able to get into it unless you have brokers and stuff. And that's the way that the internet and technology works. You don't need it like that. So I look at it like, I think it's going through its own self-regulation. People who are in it, whether good or bad, they're self-regulating it to say, look, the game broke. We don't want to take it down to Geek Squad for them to fix it. They know that we rigged the game. They'll know that we know that we modded the game. Let's not do that. Let's fix it at home. Let's refine it at home. It'll be safer at home. We'll still be able to hit licks and stuff and whatever, but not like we were. But we don't have to worry about it crashing. So I think the industry has become they've matured and evolved to become more responsible. That's why you don't have 1,000,001 coins popping up, because it was messing up the game.
I mean, they're still coming out, but not at such a high rate.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And what happens is people are being a little smarter about their digital wallets and things like people are starting to see about the cloud, and they're starting to look at the ramifications of digital money, digital currency, and what it's backed by. And ultimately, right now, we're on an AI thing. So AI right now is taking center stage and kind of taking people away from focusing so much on digital currency, which will allow people in digital currency to reinvent the wheel. They'll make it a lot safer, but they'll make it a little bit more crafty, because they still got pockets and blind spots that the government hasn't seen, and ones that are now newly created through the legislation and and other deregulation aspects.
What I think with this whole cracking down, and I don't know if you know about this, but there's a lawsuit going on against Coinbase.
Oh yeah, I know about that.
Right. So the whole thing with the lawsuit is Coinbase, Binance. I don't know if you heard of Binance.
No.
And I think another one.
Okay.
I think it's the 4 major ones in the US, besides the one from the Winkle bosses, which I think is Kraken. I think it's the name.
All right.
What I think is that what's gonna be introduced, I think this weekend or next week, is a digital dollar.
Okay.
So years ago, Coinbase, Binance, and all these people got the okay from the government to sell all these things, to do interest-bearing accounts, take deposits, buy and sell, absolutely everything in the US with the US's blessing. And only a month before the digital dollar is introduced, they're like, you're doing this illegally. These are all securities. It ain't cool. So that it's like you allowed something years ago, and just a month before you introduce your own money, you're like, oh no, this is bad.
Yeah, because you take away the competition.
And that idea comes from China, because that's what China did. China, before they introduced the digital yuan, that's exactly what they did for Bitcoin. They said, this is illegal, you can't do it. If I catch you with it, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
And now there's Bitcoin and crypto in China. It's completely cool. Oh yeah, come on, do your thing.
Once they get their
Bitcoin is cool.
we can come back. Yeah.
So I think it's a play from the government.
Yeah, it's a restructure of the game. Until they'll let it.
BS is what it is.
Yeah, but they'll let it run to see how it plays out, to see how it can be made a tool or a weapon, and then they'll let it run for a little bit, because that's the thing. That's the thing about opportunity and innovation. You let it free. You just let it run its course. Like you just let it, like you put it in a petri dish, let it run its course. You'll see how fast and how hard it moves. And you're like, oh, okay, you see how you can use it to your advantage, and then you kill it, and then you re-release it, maybe weaker, under different variables and whatever, and you control that.
Exactly.
And you get, but and guess what? You've learned so much about letting it go wild that under constraints, it'll give you all the benefits with very little of the drawbacks. And that's what bringing it back under regulation. So you let it run, People who made their money or they made their money. So
And also these old people, they're making their own money off. So don't believe for a second they're not going on the side.
But they know it's controlled at this point, and once it's controlled, it'll allow more people to get into it. But it won't make the kind of money that was made on it from before. And then it just depends, and they can always reset. They can shake the table again anytime they want to. Oh,
Exactly.
A couple companies, because people are still gonna do backdoor deals. A couple companies gonna be like, oh no, you Oh, you guys have disabled the whole industry. We gotta redo everything again, start from scratch.
And it only benefits them. Let us know down below what you guys think about the return of Crypto Nico, the return of the Rico Nico podcast.
Yay!
After a long 5 years.
After the time that it's been.
Whatever that is. Leave a like down below. Please comment, subscribe, share it with all your friends. Tell them, hey man, Rico Nico podcast, man, they're back, man. You gotta go watch them, man. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Thank you, Rico, for this podcast. You guys take it easy. We missed you, and we'll see you in the next topic.
Right.